Hi, welcome back. And let me start this little meeting with a question. Have you ever felt like the online world belongs to young people? Publishing, marketing, technology, algorithms, all that feels built for 30-year-olds. It's fast, flashy, constantly changing, and maybe you've quietly thought, I'm just too late. I'm not technical enough. I've missed the window. Well, I want to challenge that belief today because in children's publishing, especially educational children's books, grandparents like us have a distinct advantage, not despite our age, but because of it. And once you see why, it changes everything. The modern online world rewards speed, trends, reels, short form content, viral moments. Younger creators are trained to chase that attention. But children's educational publishing is not an attention game, it's a structure game. It rewards your patience, clarity, simplicity, repetition, and the understanding of childhood behavior. Those aren't tech skills, those are life skills. And grandparents, we have these in abundance. Let's talk about patience. Children don't learn through brilliance, they learn through repetition. They want the same story, the same rhythm, the same phrases, the same pattern. A 30-year-old creator may think, this is too simple, this is boring, this needs more creativity. But children don't crave complexity, they crave predictability. And grandparents understand this intuitively because we've watched a toddler ask for the same book 50 times. We've seen how routines calm children, and we know that repetition builds their confidence. Patience is not a disadvantage. In children's publishing, it's a strategic edge. Now let's talk about clarity. Many young creators try to be clever. They work to impress, they try to innovate, but educational children's books succeed because they're clear. A counting book that counts, an ABC book that presents letters simply, a shapes book that focuses on shapes. No metaphors, no layered symbolism, no hidden messages, just clear, structured learning. And grandparents understand clarity because we have already taught children. We've taught them how to tie their shoes, how to say please and thank you, how to clean up their room, how to count from 1 to 10. And we know how to break these things down step by step. We don't overcomplicate them. And in early education, simplicity wins. This may sound strange, but boring books often outsell the brilliant ones. It's true. Boring books outperform clever books. This is because a flashy, artistic, highly creative book might win some awards, but parents are searching for something specific. Counting books for toddlers, ABC books for preschool, farm animal counting books, simple bedtime routine books. Parents want function. They want structure. They want something that reinforces what their child is already learning. Predictable formats are easier for children to follow, easier for parents to trust, easier for teachers to recommend. And younger creators often underestimate this. They're chasing the uniqueness. But in educational publishing, predictability creates stability, and grandparents understand predictable systems. You raised families on routines, dinner at a certain time, bedtime at a certain time, morning routines, breakfast before school, catching the bus on time. Children thrive on structure, and so do the children's educational books. So let's talk about something even deeper, understanding child behavior. You can't learn this from a marketing course. You learn it from watching tantrums, helping with homework, reading bedtime stories, seeing what captures attention, calming a child down, seeing what loses attention. You understand pacing. You understand attention span, and you understand that a 4-year-old does not need 400 words on a page. You understand when a child gets frustrated, when they feel proud. That emotional awareness matters. Children's books are not just about information, they're about experience. And your lived experience gives you instinct, and that instinct cannot be downloaded. So let me contrast this. Many 30-year-olds are excellent at technology, design, software, and social media marketing. But children's educational publishing doesn't reward speed, it rewards structure and predictability. It does not reward trend chasing. It rewards clarity. It does not reward complexity. It rewards repetition. The skill set required is not technical brilliance. It is calm understanding. And grandparents have spent decades building that skill set. So here's what you need to know. The advantage in children's publishing is not tech skill. It's wisdom, emotional intelligence, patience, understanding how children really learn. Technology can be learned, templates can be followed, software can be taught, but wisdom is earned, and that's your edge, not your obstacle, your edge. So let's bring this to something practical. Simple educational series like counting books and ABC books, they align naturally with what grandparents already understand. You already know how children count objects, recognize letters, respond to repetition, and learn through routine. A counting series might focus on animals, vehicles, shapes, or seasonal themes. An ABC series might focus on farm animals, foods, and everyday objects. These are not complex literary masterpieces. They're structured learning tools. And structured learning tools sell because they solve a problem for parents. Your goal is not to compete with 30-year-olds on speed. The goal is to build a calm, predictable catalog of educational books that reflect what you already understand. That being said, because we use a template-based system, you can build these books very quickly. There's no hype, there's no trends, there's only structure. And when you build multiple books in a simple series format, you're not just creating content, you're building small digital assets that sit on virtual shelves, can sell for years. Assets that don't require you to chase down customers. This is not about becoming a famous author, although you might, but it is about leveraging wisdom in a structured way. You're not behind, you're just differently equipped. And in this niche, that difference is powerful. If you've ever felt like the online world moved past you, I hope today reframed that for you. Children's educational publishing rewards patience, clarity, and repetition, understanding of child behavior. Those are the strengths developed over decades. The next step is not to master complicated technology, it's to understand the structure, how to format simple educational books, how to build a small series, how to turn lived experience into predictable assets, because your advantage is not speed, it's wisdom. And wisdom, along with structure, can become income. Visit chasethebutterfly.com, download my free children's book series starter kit, and see if this will work for you. I'll see you again next week.